So for 7 years you did that. You built your core foundation and skills. Talk to me a little bit about like that transition and, not only for you, but your family. Cause I think that everyone goes through adversity at some point and they develop character in the process before they achieve truly high levels of success. And so I know in 2008, everyone went under. That was in the construction building business, and they had a little bit of a difficult time. A lot of people were panicked. How do you put food on the table? How do you provide for your family? So now that we've talked a little bit about, your prepping years and your foundational years, talk to me about that transition and like leading up to '08, how that all affected your life, your personal life, what you were going through at the time,
Sure.
and then how you guys move forward from it.
Sure. Yeah. A lot of unknowns back then, that's for sure. Still young, still in my 20s. Just recently got divorced and had 2 awesome kids. And, as we're starting this company, I had no idea like what it was gonna turn out to be. We started like flipping houses. We bought a $250,000 house in Bloomfield and maybe put 30 or 40,000 into it and sold it for a little bit of money. I think my aunt was a realtor on that one. She made more money on that house than we made. And I was doing all the work myself. So it was, definitely a learning experience. Every day I was out hunting for houses.
So before that, like when did you know that like the market was going down? Like how did your last job end when you guys were managing 900 homes a year? How did that transition happen? And at what point in time did you realize like, oh shit, the market's like screwed. What am I going to do? Like talk to me about that. And then let's go into the phase.
So I think it was like 2006 and I just, we left a meeting where we found out that the company was going to be like winding down, selling lots. We weren't going to sell any more houses. We were going to build out everything that we had in our pipeline. And it was about a 1.5-year transition. And so with this huge organization, we had to figure out a way to reduce the size of it, like periodically. And so we had a big meeting at a hotel. There was like a big conference room, and the division president got up and like gave a speech and basically told everybody we're shutting it down. Some people are going to be finding out that their jobs are over in the next couple of weeks, but everybody's going to find out today, like if they're going to be on for a couple of weeks or a 1.5 years. But it was still like kind of unknown, like how we were going to like just start dwindling down the people. And I think that's why, so about a 1.5 years, and I was like one of the last ones to leave. My wife was my girlfriend at the time. Now we're married, and she was like literally the last one to like walk out the door of our main office.
Oh, so you guys work together?
Yeah,
she was the CPA. Okay.
Yep. And
so you guys kind of knew it was coming for a little while. Like, what was going through your mind at that point? Like when everything's winding down, how did you what did you anticipate or think you were going to do afterward, or did it kind of come?
I didn't really know. It was scary, like because nobody was building houses. I really loved doing what I was doing, and so I started applying like different places around the country. I started trying to become like a facilities manager for a university or something like that, where it was like kind of in the same realm, but it was something that was maybe a little bit more protected as far as like, everybody knows the real estate market's going to go up and down all the time. And we were in one of the biggest lows. So really wanted to stay in the building world. I don't think it was until like maybe 3 or 4 months before my last day there that I knew that I was, okay, I'm just going to fend for myself. I started an LLC. And I convinced somebody that I was finding raw goods, and I was adding more raw goods to it, and it turned out I was flipping Michigan real estate in 2008. But like I didn't really want it to sound like that because nobody was really investing in that kind of thing. And found some friends and family money to allow us to make our little first investment. It was just a little first one, and I didn't have anybody. We were paying people like so little to come like help paint or do whatever. But we did all the work myself on the first couple, and then started acquiring a couple more properties where I was a little too busy to do the work.
Were those foreclosures that you were buying? Or was it like,
foreclosures or pre-foreclosures they were back then. But we buy them right from the bank usually. And amazing thinking back now that we're buying these houses for $80,000 and now they're worth $400 if the same thing came for sale. But and
it's a great era.
So at the beginning it was like maybe 3 or 4 flips, like where we did renovations to it.
Sure.
And then we started focusing more on new construction. Once we started like seeing the value in that, the projects were a lot longer. At the first, when we first started the business, it was important to like get the investor their money back so that they would trust you again on the next project.
Sure.
So getting these like littler projects that were, 3 months long or 4 months long were great. Because building a house, takes a long time, especially these custom ones. So it was a lot safer for us at the beginning to start small.
So even when you transitioned after the market collapse and you shifted into starting Lynch Custom Homes, you guys started with smaller, faster projects until you built credibility with your investment and client base.
Yeah, it helped too, because that's what our background is building kind of the quicker, the smaller projects. And so it took a couple years for us to get into the 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 square foot houses. It just felt, wanted to grow comfortably. It was not something where we took like a huge leap and built something that was like way outside our realm. We stuck to what we knew, and I learned a little bit every house, grew the house size, grew the project size, grew the quantity of quantity of houses that we were doing, but still kept the company real small. I didn't want, and I still don't, we're still almost exactly the same size as when we started. I just don't want to be like responsible for that many people's lives every single day, where if the economy is going up and down like this right now, we're adjustable. We can be with the highs, we can be with the lows. We're real nimble, real small. So a little bit different than working for this huge behemoth, 800-pound gorilla, I think is what people were calling us back then.